The dungeon is insanely hard now, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to beat it as quickly and as easily as possible. Before we get into it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. I stream almost every day. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So with the dungeon actually being very hard this season, I'm going to tell you exactly how to beat it. But first, we have to go over what kits your team should be rocking. Now, if I was your team, I would recommend each of you either bring an exotic gear or purple gear, but you have a backup blue shield with you. This is because due to the new armor system where purple armor only has 450 durability, if you get hit a lot, you're gonna be screwed. So you basically want to bring a backup shield just to have more shield just in case, because trust me, if it's your first time doing the dungeon, you're gonna need it. So the kit that your team should realistically be rocking is one person is gonna rock a core, the other person's gonna rock a brute or a core, and then that last person is gonna rock a hammer with either a brute or a core. I would recommend 2 people have cores and 1 person has a brute / hammer, just because the dungeon will give you a ton of ammo, but you want to kind of separate what types of ammo you're using. So you don't want everyone to have a core, or else you're all going to use the same ammo type. So try to spread it out a bit. Now the hammer is one of those guns that one of you should have as a secondary or a primary, just because the exotic hammer with a purple creature mod will one tap the blast ticks in the face and they won't explode. This is extremely useful for the boss fight room when there's a ton of blast ticks and someone has to be in control of those. This hammer will dominate them. You will one tap them in the face and it will be extremely helpful, and you'll see why later in the video. So with the kits now out of the way, let's go over the dungeon room by room and show you exactly what you have to do in each room to succeed. So once you put the orbital beacon down and you get to jump in the hole, the first room is extremely easy, but we'll go over how to defeat it basically as quickly as possible. Also, quick side note, between rooms there's going to be this green wall that you're going to want to mine to just get to the next room. So whenever you see a wall with green lining, just mine that out and you're on to the next room. But the first room here is very simple. Basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to drop down and you all should realistically try to go left or right. The water that's in this area in the middle, do not go in it, do not step in it, because as soon as you step in it, you're gonna have these acid ticks spawning. So every time you go in the water, there's gonna be more acid ticks spawning. So this room is very basic. Stay on the rocks on the edges and just kill the striders and kill the rattlers. It's a super easy room. As long as you don't go in the water and you don't start that poison chaos, you'll be fine. Just stay on the rocks on the outside. Do not go in the water. Stay on the rocks and you will be more than fine. This room is extremely easy and it can be done in under a minute. Next, you have this parkour section, which is again super easy. If you do manage to fall off the parkour, there will be blast sticks that spawn down there. So basically, just don't miss your jumps. This isn't really a room, but I just wanted to include it just so you get every bit of the dungeon and understand how to do it completely. So before you go in the second room, there will be these ammo crates right here, right before the door. This is where you're going to want to resupply ammo. I would get as much ammo as you can carry, because you can always just drop it down in the hole and just have it at your necessity. If you don't take it from here, you really can't get it again. So I'd recommend just get the ammo, drop it down the hole, just so you have it at your availability. Now this second room is where the dungeon starts to get very hard, and I'll show you exactly what to do. So before you drop down in the dungeon, make sure you're under around 200 to 250 pounds, so you're a little bit on the lighter side. You don't want to be in the 300 350 pounds area, because you're going to be extremely heavy. So once you lighten up your body, make sure all of your teammates are very close together, and you're all going to drop down the hole and you're going to book it to the left. All right, you're just going to book it. You're not going to look at anything. You're going to go on this ledge, climb up, kill these 2 rattlers, and control this area. This is going to be the safest area in this room. That's basically what you want to do. You want to control this area. The one thing you have to understand about this area is that the marauders can absolutely screw you over with their poison. So your goal is going to be to kill the marauders as quickly as possible. The crusher is obviously a little bit of a big deal, but he can't really ruin your area. All you have to worry about right away is hopping on the left, killing the marauders as quickly as possible, because their poison can ruin your day. It can ruin the spot. So once you're all together, sprint to the left, climb on the ledge, take care of the rattlers, and once these rattlers are dead, you're going to take care of the marauders, and then this room is fairly easy. As long as the marauders don't ruin your spot and poison everything around you, this room is very easy. Just make sure you run in, climb on the left ledge, kill the rattlers, kill the marauders as quickly as possible, and then you can worry about the crusher. It's good to leave the crusher to be the last mob in the room, just because you guys can insta it pretty easily. My whole squad in this game was rocking hammers, so it was extremely easy to take care of this guy. After you finish mining that wall and you go down again, this is going to be a very heavy resupply area, so just make sure you look for your ammo types. The ammo spawns in the same box as every raid, so get all the ammo that you need for your weapons because you're going to need it for the last room. So again, you can just carry it through. You're going to be a little heavy now, but you can drop it down the hole of the next room and you'll be light again. So take as much ammo as you can carry and just make sure you're kind of prepared for what's to come. There is a little midsection here with a couple Striders and a Marauder. So after you finish this little midsection, it's on to the actual third room. Now this third room is easily the second hardest room in the dungeon just because there's 2 crushers in here. Okay, there's 2 crushers, and what you're going to want to do before you get in the room is, again, make sure you're underweight. As you see here, I'm 300 pounds and I'm starting to drop stuff. I'm dropping ammo under 250. I made myself light enough so I don't have to worry too much about being out of breath, but you want to wait for your team here. You want to be extremely close to one another just like we are here, and you're going to drop down in the room and you're just going to book it in a straight line. You're not going to go left. You're going to book it past this big rock, book it all the way down to the water, and you're going to hug the right and you're going to jump up here. This is going to be your safe spot for this room, and again, the rules apply just as I did in the last one. You're going to kill the rattlers and you're going to kill this Marauder that's just on this ledge, or else this guy will poison your whole area. You will have nowhere to play and you will be absolutely screwed. So kill the Marauder as quickly as possible, and once you kill that Marauder, this room becomes that much easier because Crusher that we're looking at right now, he can be easily dodged. You can actually hide in the left corner because as you see where I am right now, this wall on my left is protecting me from the Crusher all the way far. So basically you want to worry about the Marauders, then worry about this Crusher and use that left wall as protection. And then once the Marauders are dead, once that first Crusher is dead, you can all start focusing on the Striders, on the Rattlers, and on the Crusher. After you kill those first 2 Marauders and the Crusher on the right, this room is extremely easy. Again, the worst part is going to be if that Marauder manages to poison your area, then you have to hop off of the safe zone, and that's when the dungeon gets very, very hard. So again, just make sure you get on this platform, you kill the Marauders as quickly as possible, then you worry about the Crusher on the right, then you take care of the extra Rattlers, Striders, and the Crusher on the hill. This room is harder, but if you do it well, just like we did, it's extremely easy to defeat. And as you see, we've taken almost no damage on our armor, so we are really prepared for the last room. And if you follow my directions exactly as I said them, you will complete this room easily. But as you're going to mine the next wall, this is going to be your last resupply area. This is it. You better grab all the ammo, drop it down the hole, because you're going to need it for this last room, especially if you already lost someone, if someone's already died. This is your last resupply area, so get the ammo, drop it all down the hole, because you'd rather have it than not have it, and once you drop down the hole, you cannot get back up. Also, when you're going to mine this wall, there's going to be poison ticks that spawn on the door, so make sure to trigger them just like he did, and then kill them as quickly as possible, because if they manage to explode, it will poison the area. Then you have to wait for the poison to go away, and it's just pain. Just make sure to go up there, trigger the acid ticks, and then you can mine the wall pretty peacefully. Now, this boss room, the final room of the Crusher, is incredibly difficult, but you guys have to manage it together. What I would recommend is that you have a couple different roles here. So you're going to have one person that his goal is to mainly just shoot at the Crusher. This guy is going to try not to shoot too many mobs. He's going to focus mainly on the Crusher. He's going to be the one coordinating the attacks on, okay, I'm getting him down. Then we all do damage. Then you're going to have your second guy that's going to be on Marauder duty and be on the mob duty. This second guy is going to be a little bit of everything. He's going to shoot at the Crusher. He's going to shoot at some mobs. He's going to shoot at everything. And then the last guy, which was me, I was focusing on the blast ticks and the Marauders, the Striders mainly, because as I said in the beginning of the video, I have the hammer with the purple creature pen, and I can actually one-tap the blast ticks in the face and they will not explode. And that is extremely important because once the acid ticks start coming in this wave, it becomes extremely difficult to move around the poison. So once you drop in the room, there's going to be Marauders, Striders, and blast ticks. Your goal is going to be to kill all of the mobs right away because this is not like the old dungeon. Every certain amount of seconds, there's going to be Marauder spawns, there's going to be Strider spawns, there's going to be blast tick spawns, and it's non-stop. So this is where your team has to communicate. There has to be someone on call, like the leader, the #1 guy that says, hey, everything's spawning, take care of the mobs. And that's when it's your job to kill as many mobs as possible. You want to kill all the blast ticks. You want to get the room as clear as possible. You have to call out to your team when there's Marauder spawns, when there's blast tick spawns, when there's all these different spawns, because it can get very chaotic very quickly. Just like you saw there, I took some damage from some blast ticks. It gets very hard and very chaotic if you don't control the mobs, because if you don't take care of all these blast ticks, and if you just let everything be and just focus on the Crusher, they will stack and stack and stack and stack, and it gets incredibly hard. So make sure you're calling out when stuff spawns. Make sure you're coordinating when the Crusher goes down, because that's when you're all going to want to do big damage. That's when you're going to want to do as much damage as possible. Crusher has a lot of health, so it's going to take you 5, maybe even 10 minutes to kill this guy if it goes wrong. Once the Crusher gets to a certain amount of HP, he will spawn in a ton of poison ticks just like he did here. And again, I'm just slide jumping, trying to avoid as many as possible. And this is where the hammer comes in handy. You want to shoot their face so they don't explode. Again, it's going to be chaotic. You're not going to be able to save yourself from every single one, but you're trying to set yourself up for as much success as you can. In this room, there are really no more safe spots. There's really nowhere to play. What I would recommend is if you're really in trouble, climb ledges. If stuff's chasing you, jump off the ledges, because again, the Marauder's coming up. I can jump off the ledge. I can climb up a ledge, then jump off of it. Then they have to go all the way around. Your only safe spot is really playing on ledges and doing what you can do with them. Besides that, the room is going to be pure chaos at all times. You need to focus up. You need to have good comms, clear comms. Make sure your armor's not breaking. Make sure you coordinate when he goes down, when you're doing damage to him. The dungeon is no longer a joke, and you guys have to be prepared for this. Boys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Deuce.